Scarcity has players fighting for 5 to 10 minutes over scant resources while traveling through an inhospitable wasteland. It is a two-player game in which each player is looking after a small population struggling to survive in a time when the world would be content to let them die and be forgotten. Every living thing needs food, water, and shelter, and each player will be trying to gather enough of each to sustain their population so that they are not overtaken by their opponent. Each round, the player's travelers arrive in a new location and will try to find adequate food, water, and shelter, all while avoiding any rotten food, infected water, or unstable shelter. After all of the discoverable resources have been exhausted in an area, players will tally all of their findings and will either sustain their population, gain a new follower, or lose one of their travelers before moving on to a new area. When the travelers come to a new area to forage, the two players will take turns directing their population. Each turn, players will take 2 actions. Players may scout for resources by peeking at a card and then replacing it face down, gather resources by taking one card from the play area into their hand, or concede an area by giving a card from the play area to their opponent. Once all cards have been taken from the play area, the round is over, and players will reveal their hands to show if they have sustained their population or not. Any player that has not gathered at least one of every resource has their population reduced by 1. And any player that has 2 or more of every resource has their population increased by 1. Players will then shuffle all cards together to form the layout of the new location to explore. They will flip one card face up to represent a known quantity of resources that both groups of travelers can clearly see. This face-up card cannot be scouted and cannot be gathered or conceded until it is the last card in the play area. After each round, if any player has twice as many travelers than their opponent, they win. They have defeated their opponents and guaranteed enough resources for themselves for the foreseeable future. If any player has only one traveler left, they lose. This can mean that both players can lose simultaneously, but the world will still turn and time will march forward without so much as a tear shed for our lost explorers. The simple and quick gameplay means that all ages can enjoy commanding their own group of travelers in their quest for survival. There are several different variations in play that can be used, but they will all share one thing in common: there's never enough to go around.